We're going to start with leg extensions, and what that is working is going to work the knee joints. So we're going to start, and what muscle we're working is actually the quadricep muscle, which goes from the knee to the hip. And we're going to do this seated, and we're going to do 10 reps on each leg. What you're doing is have the toe up, extend the leg, extend the leg. Great for an arthritic knee joint or someone who hasn't worked out ever, or it's been a long time, and just trying to get the knees and the joints a little lubricated before you start into a more intense workout. We're going to do 10 repetitions. And just kind of slow and methodical, nothing real bouncy, and then just switch to the other side. This is for the knee joint. You're also working the muscles called the quadriceps, which are the top part of the thigh. The next exercise we're doing is called a standing leg curl. The muscles that we're working are going to go from the back of the knee to the butt, which is the hamstring muscle. And what we're doing, we're just standing, leaning against a chair for balance, and then we're just going to take the heel and move it toward the butt. And we're going to do 10 repetitions. This is really good for the knee joint if you have an arthritic joint. Right now the workout has no weights involved. We're just working with body weight, which is really good to kind of warm up before you get into body weight exercises. We're going to do 10 repetitions. Not really wanting to get you sore when we start on these beginners workouts, so we're just really trying to get the muscles to understand what they're supposed to do. I'm going to turn the chair around just to show you what it looks like from the other side. We're going to do 10 repetitions on each side. And just bringing the heel toward the butt. When you first start a workout, you don't want to start out with squats and lunges because they're pretty stressful on the knee. So we want to start out with some of these warm-up exercises first. The next exercise we're going to be doing is a bicep curl. Everybody knows what the bicep muscle is. It goes from the elbow to the shoulder, and the big mover, or the mover of the elbow. So the elbow joint is one that people get a lot of pain in, so what we're going to do is go through an exercise that's going to help to eliminate pain in the elbow. So we're just going to start with no weights in our hands, just in a standing position, arms just kind of hanging freely at the body, and just curling up. You'll notice I'm turning at the wrist at the same time, so this is also going to help to alleviate wrist pain. And we're just going to go through about 10 reps on each arm, and we're just alternating from arm to arm. So this one is going to be an exercise for the bicep muscle, but also starting to condition the elbow for future exercises where we start to add weights. You don't want to start off too heavy or do anything too, I don't know, for lack of a better term, you don't want to start out with a bunch of weights when you're first starting, or if you've never exercised. A lot of times we go to a gym and work out and we get really excited because we're paying a membership. I think just start off slow. There's nothing that says that it has to be done in a month or a week or however long. So we're just going to go through these simple exercises first and just kind of build as we go. And we'll walk through this process with you over the course of a year to kind of get you where you need to be. I'm going to move directly from that exercise to what they call a tricep extension. And tricep muscle is the muscle that goes from the back of the shoulder to the back of the elbow, which is also one of the large elbow movers. So what we're doing here is we're just pushing down and contracting. A lot of times people will call that the horseshoe muscle. So the reason they call that is because it kind of looks like a horseshoe back in here. But a lot of times people, that's the muscle that they talk about. It's got all the flab. So these are great exercises for that flabby portion of the arm. You'll hear most women complain about the flabby arm more than men, but men have it just as much as women do. So we're just really pushing down, and just when you get to a certain point, the elbow won't go no further, that's where you stop. And we're just going to do 10 repetitions. Just keep it simple. You don't want to get real sore through these exercises right now, because that gets a little unmotivating when you get so sore that you can't work out. We want to start getting sore when we start adding weights. Right now we're just trying to condition the joints for future exercises. So just stick with us and we'll walk you through it. We're just going to turn around the other way, and we're just going to go do it on the other arm. And you may feel a little bit of cramping in these muscles if you've never done this exercise before. It's completely normal. You're not tearing or hurting anything. It's just the muscles are like, hey, what are you doing to me? You haven't done this in a long time, or you haven't been exercising. So they're just kind of in shock. So make sure you drink plenty of water, and if you take a good multivitamin, and make sure to consult your physician before you start any exercise video, before you start taking any supplements. A lot of people get really crazy with supplements, so just don't take too much stuff. Okay, the next exercise we're going through is a shoulder press. Now, a shoulder press is a simple exercise, and the muscle that we're really working is the deltoid muscle. These are going to be the muscles that look good in a sleeveless shirt or in a tank top. So that's why we really want to focus on these. And these are also the big muscles that move your shoulders when you're doing exercises or doing just house work, or when you're working in the yard, the things that get really sore. So what we're going to do, we're going to do an alternating movement where we're going to work one arm and then the other. Okay? So we're doing a shoulder press. And we're going to do about 10 repetitions on each side, just like this. And this one, you shouldn't have too much pain with it, but if you've got some arthritic changes in your shoulder, you may hear some crunching and some popping. And you may even get some soreness as you're doing it, but you're not going to hurt yourself with this particular exercise. Now, if you're under the care of an orthopedic surgeon for shoulder problems, then you might want to make sure and consult with them before you start it. But right now, you're probably good with this exercise. We're just moving in one plane, so it's not going to hurt your shoulder or the arthritic joint too much. And I'm just going to do about 10 repetitions on each side. As we advance, we'll move our repetitions up to 12 to 15. And that's shoulder press. The next exercise we have are side bends. And what we're really working, we're going to work this upper part of the back to about right here in the lower upper back. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to have our hands to our side, and we're just doing side bends. The muscles that we're really contracting are going to be the love handle areas. Okay? So this is not a real aggressive exercise. This is more of a stretch, but at the same time you are conditioning muscle. So it's going to be one of those, we do it first and we progressively move away from this. But until we have some conditioning in these muscles and joints, they haven't been working a long time, so we need to get them conditioned, okay? So we're going to do a side bend. And all you're doing is contracting the muscles on this side, right about the rib or lower rib level, and then just going the other way. And just going to do 10 repetitions on each side. You probably will feel some cramping in this area. It will almost feel like the muscles are going to cramp up in your rib area. It's completely normal. I do this exercise all the time and I'm getting that cramping sensation right now. That's completely normal. Make sure that you're drinking plenty of water. You don't want to drink coffee all day long and all after the exercise and then expect not to cramp, because you will get a little dehydrated with extra coffee consumption. I'm a coffee drinker, so I'm not. And just move it back and forth. And this is really kind of lubricating the spine, so your spine is ready for additional exercises. Just kind of getting motion in those joints who haven't had motion in a while. And just doing 10 on each side. This next exercise is called a standing leg extension. And what we're really working, you're working the butt muscles and the lower back. Okay? It always seems like people don't want to say butt, but that's what you want to work out. People come into the office and they want to say, well, this muscle right here, it's your butt. So we're working your butt to try to tighten the upper part of the butt and also the low back. And this is one that I think that if you haven't ever done this, you need to use something to lean against, okay? You can use a counter, you can use your desk if you're going to do these exercises in the office. The way we put this exercise video together is you should be able to do it within about 10 to 15 minutes in the comfort of your office if you need be. What you want to do is just lean against this, knees slightly bent, and then you want to bring the leg back as high as you can. You're going to feel some cramping sensation in this low back and probably some stretching on the opposite hamstring. And you just want to hold that for a couple seconds and then switch to the other side. A lot of us today work in an office environment where we're sitting most of the time. So this is a great, great exercise to negate some of the effects of sitting all day long. It'll really kind of tighten up the low back, which can help decrease low back pain. And kind of prepare you for Saturday and Sunday when you're out doing all the weekend warrior stuff, like trying to get all the weeds pulled out of your garden or cleaning the swimming pool, or just jumping on the trampoline with the kids. And just really bringing that leg up as high as you can. Like I said, you'll feel some cramping sensation. It's completely normal. If you feel any sharp pain, then you probably need to consult your physician and see if you're doing the appropriate exercise. I'm just going to do 10 on each side. We're starting with 10 reps on these first couple workouts because we don't want to overtax the muscles or the joints and make them real sore. And just 10 on each side. And that's standing leg extension. This next exercise is really for the hip joint and the muscles that go into the actual pelvic area. And we've all probably seen these done or done these at some point in time. And if you haven't, it's a simple exercise. You are going to need a chair for this one for balance purposes. So the leg that you're going to be exercising is going to be the left side here, and you're going to be holding with the right hand. So what you're going to be doing is actually bringing the leg away from the body, and that's going to be contracting from the love handle down to the side of the leg where we get kind of the pointy hips, okay? So bringing it away from the body, just like that, and you're just going to do 10 reps. And you've got the chair here to lean on because when you go this way, you're going to want to lean this way. And this is for balance only, okay? 10 reps. This one, you may feel a little cramping and pulling with this one because these exercises for this outer part of the hip, these are joints and muscles that don't really get used a lot. A lot of people who get bursitis in their hips or when they get pain when they lay on their side at night, this is going to be a great exercise for those people. Make sure that if you have bursitis or if you've been diagnosed with bursitis or hip arthritis, just consult your doctor before you do these. And 10 reps on each side, and then I'm just going to switch sides and I'm going to have my back to you just so you can see what it looks like from the back. And just 10 reps. All right, the next exercise we're going to really focus on is the chest muscles. So we're going to do just a fly. So we're really kind of squeezing the chest muscles together. The reason we're choosing the fly is because push-ups are sometimes stressful on the shoulder. And until we have these chest muscles to where they actually know what they're doing, we really don't need to have push-ups just yet. We're going to have multiple exercise workout videos from week to week. So this is just number one. So let's just start off slow and let's just work through the process together, okay? So a fly, what we're going to have is the arms up, bent at the elbow in a 90-degree angle. It ain't got to be perfect, okay? So you're having it like this, and then what you're doing is you're trying to squeeze your fingers, or if you can think about a pencil right here laying this way, squeezing that with your chest muscles, okay? And holding it in place with your chest muscles. So you're squeezing, okay? Squeezing. I'm just doing 10 repetitions. Just squeezing. Almost to where your elbows or your hands are going to touch, but just using the chest muscles to do that. Now some people, you may only be able to get your arms to here, but right now, just for demonstration purposes, I'm able to go all the way forward, so I'm coming all the way forward. I'm going to bring it as back as far as you can. So let me show you from the side. Bring it back as far as you can to stretch the muscle, and then bring it back together. Bring it back and back together. You're also working some of the upper back muscles when you're doing this by contracting the muscles backwards. So this is really an upper body workout. That's it for week one. Do this every single day, Monday through Friday. Take Saturdays and Sundays off. We will have a new workout video via email every Sunday night that you should be able to use for Monday morning. See you next week.